So I'd like to ask you all to help me recognize some special guests who are here this evening. Our Mayor, Don Trinks, if you can stand. So I'd like to thank him for putting on this event this evening, along with, of course, our staff at the Chamber and all of our volunteers. And I'm going to turn the program over to Paul.
I promised Chris I wouldn't talk so long over this time. But I do have one question before we start. Is this a great jacket or what? Okay, that's what I wanted here. Just quickly, I almost did a negative thing. I put in the Chamber golf tournament on Monday, and Marty McMahon, who's on the dinner committee with us, was playing the foursome behind me. And on one of the holes, he almost hits me in the back of the head with a tee shot. So I turn around and I'm going, he's waving at me. I said, how about yelling 4? So I know Marty's not here, but when he watches this thing, Marty, next time, little golf etiquette, okay? I just want to thank all the other people on the dinner committee. We came early today to set everything up, and as usual, these nights don't happen by themselves, so it takes a lot of work and prep by a lot of people. We had a lot of volunteers here today, some people from ING that came and joined us. But the dinner committee was pretty much myself, Marty, Ashley Williams, Fran, and of course James Gillis from the Chamber, who does a stellar job every year with this thing. So please give another round of applause. So at this time, I'd like everybody to stand and have the Pledge of Allegiance.
It's on its way.
Please be over there, so well done.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now if Amber Mix, please join me for the national anthem. Where are you coming from?
Whose broad stripes and bright stars
Now, if our good Mayor Don Trinks will come with the invocation, please.
Amber can be heard Wednesday and Friday nights at 55 Palisade Ave. As she's scooping ice cream. You thought I forgot where we're from. You bow your heads, please. O God, giver of all that makes life good, we gather to ask your blessing, to give you your thanks, pray for justice and understanding among people. We ask your blessing on those gathered here as we enjoy one another's friendship and to seek to better our community. We also come to offer thanks for the gifts we've been given as individuals and the gifts we've been given as a community, state, and nation. We're deeply appreciative to have a strong group of volunteers who give unselfishly of their time in order to better the community we all love. Bless this food we're about to eat and remind us of the less fortunate who benefit from the generosity of this town and how the need to end hunger continually exists. Lastly, we ask that you guide and protect those participating in the various peacekeeping missions around the world, those men and women who are willing to sacrifice their lives in protecting our freedom. We pray that when all is said and done, we find around the world a renewed commitment to live and work together in peace. Amen.
Okay, folks, I just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We have a fun evening after the business portion, so enjoy your dinner. See you soon.
All right, so what we're going to do is we have 3 acts this evening that will be performing for you in our talent competition. And so what we're going to do is we're going to bring up our first person right now. She performed for you just maybe, what, a half an hour, 45 minutes ago with our national anthem. We're going to bring her up again. Ladies and gentlemen, Amber Mipps. She's going to do a song, Blame It on the Rain. Amber?
So I have to look at the lyrics on my phone. You got me caught in all this mess. I guess we can blame it on the rain. My pain is knowing I can't have you. I can't have you. Tell me, does she look at you the way I do? Try to understand the words you say and the way you move. Does she get the same big rush when you go in for a hug and your cheeks brush? Tell me, am I crazy? Or is this more than just a crush?
Amber Mipps, ladies and gentlemen. All right, anybody else? Who else has some talent here? Anybody? Jane went around from table to table. Is there? I can't. What? Oh, well, of course. It's Windsor Velvet, ladies and gentlemen. I was asking for anybody else. Jane? Jane, can you do it? More wine. All right. This is Windsor Velvet, ladies and gentlemen.
You're good. We're good. Oh, I don't hear anything either.
That magic touch.
All
Going now.
right.
We are Windsor Velvet, and this is a little sample of what we do.
a sentimental journey. Gonna set my heart at ease. Gonna make a sentimental journey to renew old memories. Just kiss me once and kiss me twice and kiss me once again. It's been a long, long time. But this morning, since I can't remember when. It's been a long, long time. You will never know how many dreams I dreamed about you, or just how empty they all seem without you. So, kiss me once and kiss me twice and kiss me once again. It's been a long, long time, long time. It must have been moonlight way up in the blue. It must have been moonglow that led me straight to you. And now when there's moonglow way up in the blue, I'll always remember that moonglow gave me you. Or was it prophet Coca-Cola going down the Puma, North Northern Candoma, working for the Yankee dollar? From Coca-Cola, from Coca-Cola.
Once again, Windsor Velvet, ladies and gentlemen. It's quite a competition, Jane. All right, we have one more performer this evening on the schedule, unless anybody else. Anyone? All right. This person will be performing. I have to set up all of this up here, right? Because I want to do it down here. Of course, owner of All Out Coaching. You can go on their website, alloutcoaching.com. JerryWistrom.com. He is of course the host of the 10-year running famous television show, The Windsor Feud, that the Windsor Chamber of Commerce puts on every year. He is the host. And now he is going to perform for you. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Mr. Jerry Wistrom.
Folk singer form, I ought to be saying things like, so how you doing? Everything good? Having a good meal? Nice. No, I'm not going to kiss you. Okay, let's hope that that stays pretty much like that. So, the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald is a song written, composed, and performed by the Canadian Gordon Lightfoot to commemorate the sinking of the bulk carrier, the SS Edmund Fitzgerald, on Lake Superior on November 10, 1975. It was inspired by the Newsweek article on the event, The Cruelest Month, which appeared in the issue of November 24, 1975. Lightfoot considers this one song to be his finest work. And I will not perform it today. Instead, I'm performing a song called The Windsor Chamber Annual Dinner. Now, it is sung to the tune of The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. And clap your hands if you know that tune. Okay, you'll know it soon. So music by Gordon Lightfoot, lyrics by Jerry Wistrom. Now, doesn't that sound familiar? Okay, just checking. Chambers in town from Pequannock on down to the southernmost border of Wilson. Its numbers have grown and its mission is known by all businesses, adults, and children. Businesses come and some of them go. The smart ones, they always are members. It's true. Don't worry, I plugged it. They join in due time and remain top of mind, because the people of Windsor remember. The chamber is led by directors and head. Jane Garibay is always the leader. Cause it is said she would fight till she's dead. She's a wonderful, caring heart bleeder. Where's Frank Carmen? Oh, Frank. Frank Carmen over here. He's director of the year. He's the VP of Chamber Relations. And how was he picked? Well, the whole thing was fixed. It's because of his corporate donation. Where's Ray Embry? Oh, good. It's coming, Ray. Ray Embry's the man with the Hallis Award in hand, and he doesn't know why he is winning. You said that to me, didn't you? You said, I don't know why I'm winning. Ray, it's not your good looks or your knowledge of books. It's because you gave all that free printing. Night may be long, but the bar will go strong as we listen to all of their speeches. We'll appear so intent, but our brains won't relent as we dream of Maldivian beaches. All kidding aside, it's in Windsor we take pride and appreciate all of these winners. Glad that you're here, and we'll see you next year at the Chamber's next annual dinner. Chambers in town from Pequannock on down to the southernmost border of Wilson. Its numbers have grown and its mission is known by all businesses, adults, and children.
Hi. First of all, in the program, I am not Mark Griffin. I did not print this program. However, later on I will introduce the person who did. I am not from Vermont. I'm not a retired banker from Windsor Federal. And I have more hair than he does. I've been asked tonight to swear in the incoming officers and to reaffirm the present officers of the Windsor Chamber of Commerce. So I would ask the newly elected members of the board and officers to come forth and take the oath. Don't beg me, please. Would existing members of the board also come forward to reaffirm your oath? While I'm coming forth, I will give you a little lineup here. Kristen Barbarata, Johnson, Doe, Brown, and Barbarata as president of the chamber. Frank Carmen from Carmen Funeral Home as vice president. Jerry, I can't sing for hell, Windstrom. Vice president. Paula Pierce, hosting Connecticut as secretary. Marilyn Kinney of Windsor Federal Savings. I do not think I see her tonight, but okay. Directors' terms expiring in 2014. Mary Beth Welch from Century 21, All Points Realty. Stacy Hegg, I hope I pronounced that right. Baggy and the rest of the guys that belong there. Neil Faldo from Accutron, I saw him here before. Terms to expire in 2016. Rick Haglund from Alston Power. Michael Doneen from O'Malley, Doneen, Leary, Messina, and Oswecki, and I hope they don't get any more partners because it's getting too long. And Marshall Fox, who I just met, who wishes he never met me, from Conica Minolta Business Solutions. Okay, now this is probably your first time some people have done this, so listen to what I say and don't screw it up, okay? Please raise your right hand. That's the one over here. Thank you. And repeat after me. I'm going to say I, and I'm going to ask you to pronounce your name. You don't know how to pronounce it, look in your wallet. I do solemnly pledge to uphold the responsibility to which I have been elected by the Windsor Chamber of Commerce. So help me God. Welcome to the board. Congratulations.
We're the board of the Windsor Chamber and of First Down Downtown as well.
Oh, excuse me. I'm an old guy.
Every year when we install new directors and officers to the board, we also lose some people as well. So we just like to take a moment and recognize our outgoing directors if they would join me up here on the podium. We have Tyler Ball from Dayhill Kennels.
Also, like to invite up Jay Carmen, please. Jay?
Sharon Seelig is also leaving us, but she could not be here tonight.
And our fourth outgoing director is Mr. Ray Embry, Connecticut Alta, right? Jay Carmen? Jay? Thank you.
And now I'd like to introduce somebody who really needs no introduction, Jane Garibay. Yeah, she is going to present our Volunteer Appreciation Awards, and as you all know, she's the Executive Director of the Chamber. Just a round of applause for all of our outgoing directors.
I want to thank you all for coming to help us celebrate so many wonderful people and a great year in the Windsor Chamber. All of you are volunteers, and so many to name. We couldn't exist without all your support. And Ashley, you're supposed to be up here with me too. Because these are people that have, we would first like to thank our board of directors. I talk with lots of directors around the state and New England. And give the board of directors another hand, because I have a really great board of directors. I'd also like to take a quick minute to thank Peter Falk, who's over here taking pictures for us. I called him. They put up a screen that I didn't know was going up, but we had one last year, so I called Peter at 1 o'clock and I said, can you throw together a slideshow? And he did a very excellent, wonderful job. Thank you, Peter. We decided this year to recognize, with so much turmoil, internationally, nationally, statewide, and even locally this year, 3 people that, as individuals, through their jobs, as volunteers, have really put forth Windsor's best foot and have concentrated on the positive that we have. The first we'd like to recognize is John Karras. For those of you that don't know John is the editor and the everything for the Windsor Journal. Another hand for John. Is Jenny Horan. Jenny is the station manager for WinTV. How long has it been, Jenny? 3 years? 3 years. years, and if you've seen in that time, the station has just done a 360 turnaround. We find so many great things on there. And everyone says, well, who watches? Well, every time I hear someone, they say, hey, I saw this or I saw that. If you were watching last night, you saw our annual dinner from last year, so it was kind of great. Thank you for all you do, Jenny. And another one of my mistakes, Mike, in the program booklet was Jerry Doherty, and I put Michael, so I truly apologize. I've known Jerry for a couple of years. Jerry, can you come forward? Jerry has taken on the task in retirement to photograph area towns, Greater Hartford. He does Windsor Locks, Windsor, to document our history, both in, for us, our summer concerts, buildings, happenings, and everything around town. It's jerrydoherty.com, is that it? What's your website? Yeah, jerrydoherty.com to see all the pictures and the history that Jerry's recording, and we thank him for that. I also want to take this opportunity to formally thank two people. And as I've said before, we're a small office. So for three of us to get along so well and be able to achieve so much together and do what we do, they work tirelessly to help make the Chamber and First Town Downtown function. They're a pleasure to work with every day. Phyllis Stargarder and Ashley Williams. She wants to die. That gives pleasure, doesn't it? Thank you. And now I'm going to turn it over to Ashley to present the First Town Downtown Eagle Award.
The First Town Downtown Eagle Award is given to a person or a group who demonstrates exceptional time commitment and passion to First Town Downtown and its mission. This year's award goes to Michael Deneen. He has been a committee member for, I don't know for how long, forever. And he has worked tirelessly on our Economic Enhancement Committee. He's a former board member. I don't think he's ever missed a meeting, even if the rest of the committee has. And anytime I've ever needed a hand or something needs to be done, Mike has always stepped forward, so thank you.
Okay, now Frank Carmen, would you come forth, please, to present the Student Entrepreneur of the Year Award.
Good evening. The Student Entrepreneur is chosen for showing an entrepreneurial spirit, outstanding achievement in business classes, creativity when approaching a business project, honesty and ethical standards, a B average for all 4 quarters in their business class, a business attitude and effort, and performance on a business plan. This year's winner is Ashley Walsh. Ashley is a talented and motivated student who not only maintains high academic standing, but also spreads her enthusiasm to other students by impromptu tutoring in class. She excelled in her marketing class by displaying an exceptional grasp of the process of satisfying customers' needs while making a profit, which is the ultimate goal of a business. During our project discussions, Ashley always gives creative and well thought out suggestions. Ashley is a valued member of DECA, worked hard to make that, and has worked hard to make that organization successful. Ashley has also worked in the school store throughout the years. She did all of this while also working to become an outstanding track and field athlete. In addition to DECA, Ashley was a member of the honor roll every marking period during her 4 years at Windsor High School. Ashley is also an active volunteer. During the summer, she works as a camp counselor for the Windsor Recreation Department. Congratulations, Ashley, on being Student Entrepreneur of the Year.
Okay, so Business of the Year, this year is Geisler's. Can I have Jim Nielsen up here, please? So the Chamber is a membership organization, and our success is due to our business partnerships. Many businesses help in many different ways. It may be through participation on the board, committee work, participation in chamber programs, financial support, and the support of businesses and the surrounding community. Businesses and people can bring one or more of the following: wealth, wisdom, or work to the chamber. So the committee chose Geisler's for their long-term continual support of the chamber and the community. Geisler started in 1923 with A.F. Geisler delivering groceries to the small village of Broadbrook in the town of East Windsor, Connecticut. Mr. Geisler's daughter Mary married Jim Nilsson, who took over and expanded the business into a multi-store independent chain. The Nilsson family still owns and operates the Geisler stores today. Geisler's has built a reputation not only for excellent quality food and customer service, but also for their support of the community. Geisler helps so many of the people and groups in the town on a continual basis. God knows, as soon as you go in there on a Saturday morning, there's always, a group out in front of the store that Geisler's has generously given them that time and the ability to participate there. So they support the chamber, the Windsor Food and Fuel Bank, among many, many others. It's my pleasure to award this to Geisler's this year.
I just want to say really appreciate this award. We've been in town of Windsor now for 39 years, so it's, as you know, I was the first manager there, so that was quite a while ago. We have our current store manager here tonight, Margaret. I'd also like to point out that my mother is here. And I appreciate the rest of the family joining us here tonight. Thank you very much for this award.
Congratulations, Jim. And that just brings up the point to support, I tell people all the time, support the businesses that support the community. Believe it or not, I have a hard time eating at a restaurant out of town. Okay. Right now, we would like to bring forth Frank Harmon, our board member of the year. Frank was chosen for his dedication to the Windsor Chamber of Commerce Board and for going above and beyond the normal call of duty. He is always focused on what is the best decision for the Chamber and its member businesses, never about himself. Frank, even, you know that we renovated back in September, and there Frank showed up with a couple of employees in shorts and t-shirt and helped us move the whole chamber out into a pod, and that's just the type of person that Frank is, and a great board member. And we are very lucky to have his energy and thoughtfulness. Thank you, Frank.
I just wanted to say, when Jane called me that I was getting this award, I was a little shocked. I said, I don't deserve this award, Jane. I said, she said, well, yeah, you do. I said, those other people that really, I think, deserve it more, and Mary McKinney and, you know, Kristen Barbarata, and she goes, yeah, well, they've all gotten it before, so that's why we're down to you, so. But then, now after Jerry's song, I realize it's not even about anything else, so thanks, Jerry. Thank you very much. We in the Chamber has been a great couple of years, and we've had a really dynamic board, and I've just enjoyed it immensely, so thank you very much.
Next up on the agenda, we have the Parker Award, and I'd like to invite Becca Marcos from the Hyde House up, and also Deborah Parker.
The Parker Award is given to a Chamber member who has made a special effort to maintain a high standard of beautification of their property. This year, we are recognizing 6 of our member hotels that have gone above and beyond in renovating their beautiful hotels. We are honored to have the daughter of Frank Parker, who the award is named after, to give out the award this evening.
As Becca said, I'm the daughter of Frank Parker and of Elizabeth Parker, otherwise known as Libby. I wasn't supposed to say Libby, and she did say to please come over and say hello at some point during the evening. For the majority of my life, of my adult years, I have resided in New Hampshire, but Windsor remains my home. And for that reason, I am honored to be here to present the Frank D. Parker Beautification Award on behalf of my mother, Elizabeth Parker, and in honor of my father, Frank D. Parker. As you're probably aware, my father took great pride in his home, in his business, and in the town of Windsor. He would be pleased to know that that pride has been carried forward through this award. It is my privilege to present the 2013 Frank D. Parker Beautification Award to the following 6 recipients. 2 are not in attendance tonight. That would be the Doubletree Hotel of Bradley International Airport and the Sheraton Hartford Hotel at Bradley. And in attendance tonight, yes? Hilton Garden Inn. Recipient is the Residence Inn. The Courtyard by Marriott. Courtyard
Anita. Thank you so much.
And of course, the Hartford Windsor Marriott. Great job tonight. Thank you very much.
Alrighty, this is your captain speaking. If Bill Gombert, our auction guru, would come to the podium, please.
As I think you're all aware, the last auction was number 29, and for probably the 15th, 18th year, we selected 3 additional beneficiaries besides the chamber, and this year was great. The board was great. The auction went great, the best that we've ever had, and these are still somewhat troubled economic times. And if we do anything else besides the checks tonight, I want to have very firmly planted in your mind April 4th. April 4th, 2014. That's our 30th anniversary. And there's a handful of people in this room that have been or contributed to all 30 auctions. We're going to honor them, and we're going to ask all of you to be here, plus your 5 best clients. So we got 130 tonight, 5 best clients times 130, even though there's a little cross-pollination in there, I'm sure. But we should have 600-700 people, and then really break the bank. You can buy tickets online now. And they're $300 a piece in honor of the 30th. That's how we're going to make some extra money. If we could have Win TV, Jenny's been up here a couple of times already, I think, so I know she's here. Okay, and Summer Winds, Doug Kerr, you're here, we had dinner together. And WEF, Pauly, you're going to represent them again tonight. So if these 3 organizations could come up, accept our thanks, and probably more important to them, their checks. Jenny's check is for $2,525. Summer Wind's check, $4,100. And the third check for $38.25. Thank you all very much, and seriously, what's the date? April 2014, number 30, and tickets really aren't going to be $300. They're probably going up a little bit, but not that bad. Thank you all very much.
As soon as she sits down, I'm going to ask Paula Pierce to come back. For the Citizen of the Year Award, I'd like Mr. Don Trinks to come up, and also Paula Pierce.
From running back and forth, but you'll have to excuse me for that. The Citizen of the Year Award is presented to a Windsor citizen who has provided outstanding service to our community. And this year's recipient, I think all of you know and love her as much as I do, Anita Mipps. I'm just going to give you a couple of bullet points about Anita. because the career of Anita in Windsor is a very long story. And you'll see it in your program, so I'm just going to tell you a few little tidbits about why Anita is winning this award. Anita has lived in, worked hard for, and loved Windsor for over 50 years. She's worked and volunteered in Windsor Public Schools. She's been involved in Windsor's town government, appointed to the Town Planning and Zoning Commission, the first woman ever, the Registrar of Voters, and was appointed to the Governor's Youth Action Program. She's an active volunteer for the Windsor Arts Center, Windsor Historical Society, and the Windsor Education Foundation. She's a Justice of the Peace and a Notary Public. So you can tell this award is very well deserved. Thank you, Anita Mipps.
I've waited a long time for this.
Just because I gave you target passes.
I had your signature down better than you. Yes, for those of us that went through the public school system, and we're honored to see the smiling face of one Mrs. Mipps as we were entering class somewhere between first and seventh period. Also known as, you want to say it together?
Don't you dare.
Small towns are so full of secrets. There's Kristen. You thought I was scared of you. All right, we'll let this one fly. Because I won't say that she is the most powerful woman in Windsor. Yeah. Said it. It was Suzanne, I just emphasized it. I do have a proclamation honoring Anita Mipps as the Windsor Chamber of Commerce Citizen of the Year. And whereas the Windsor Chamber of Commerce is pleased to announce the 2013 recipient of the Citizen of the Year Award is Anita Mipps. And I really have a hard time with that whole first name thing. I mean, that's the way it was back in those days. It's Mrs. Mipps. Whereas Anita's service and love of Windsor began 54 years ago when she and her husband Ed settled in town. Anita began working with students when she became a room mother when her children Robert and Susan attended the Windsor elementary schools. Anita was a founding member of the Windsor High School Music Parents Organization in 1975 and served as the administrative support clerk for Principal Larry Shea. There's some stories. Whereas Anita's love of Windsor's history ushered her into a political career. She's been a member of the Windsor Democratic Town Committee since 1973. She was elected secretary and served in that position from 1977 to 1984, then again in 2007 to the present. As vice chairman from 1984 to 2006, Anita made her own history when she was the first woman appointed to the Town Planning and Zoning Commission in 1976. She has been its chairman since 1993. In 1982, Anita was appointed Deputy Registrar of Voters, and I can't see. Well, I mean, this is really cool, but there's not a lot of lighting. Anita's been instrumental in helping the high school organize its program for getting students to register to vote. It's not surprising that Governor O'Neill appointed Anita to the Governor's Youth Action Program, which she served from 1986 to 1990. And whereas Anita served on both of Windsor's 350th and 375th anniversary committees, I deleted out the 325th. She chaired the Plays and Publications Committee and was editor of the Chronological History of Windsor that was produced for the 375th. I need a glass of water. Is it really all in here? Oh, all right. Here, I'm going to read this one. Anita's granddaughters, Erin Morita, a Windsor High graduate, Amber Mipps, a Windsor High student, and Dominique Mipps, a student at Sage Park, also somewhat occupy her time. It's all here. I have to read it.
Thank you to Carol Schultz.
Yeah. See, she ratted you out. I'm just reading it. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the mayor of the town of Windsor that Anita Mipps is honored as the 2013 Windsor Chamber of Commerce Citizen of the Year for her contributions to the Windsor community and outstanding service to its citizen and being the most powerful woman in Windsor. That's not on it. Unfortunately, our state representatives could not be here this evening, but Dave Barron wanted me to make sure that she got the citation from the General Assembly honoring her for her years of service. Thank you. Thus putting her in the running for most powerful woman in the state of Connecticut.
Oh, Lord. Okay. I gotta thank the Chamber for giving this humbling honor to me. I want to thank my family, and I'd like to introduce them. My son Robert, his daughter Amber, my daughter Suzanne, and her husband Joe, and my many friends here at the table and back at table 14. I wouldn't have been here if Ed hadn't supported me in all that I wanted to do over the years. And I was fortunate enough to have heard about this before he passed away. So he did know that I had gotten this honor. Because I married and moved into a town where I knew no one, and that's literal, from what I considered a historic town, because it was 1719 when it was founded, and we'd had Ulysses S. Grant visit us and everything else, so I didn't know what I was moving into. But I found out I was in the first town of Connecticut. Actually, in September of '58, we were in town and watched the 325th anniversary parade, but I didn't know the historical significance at the time. I took care of that for the 350th and again for the 375th. My grandchildren tell me they are bringing me to the 400th because I probably won't be able to drive by then. For me, volunteering has been a part of my life. My dad, many, many years ago, always said, don't ask for something, see what you can give instead. So in conclusion, thank you for giving me the best present one could ever receive. Thank you so much.
For the next award, if I can have Mike Rabbit, please come to the podium. Mike. All right.
I'm now Mike Rabbit. Last time I was Mark Griffin, so I'm going to try. I've been practicing this speech all week because this is going to be tough. So I want to practice. Good evening. Oh man, that didn't work at all. Good evening. Good evening. Before I introduce the Man of the Year, and he is the Man of the Year, I would like to recognize the past Hallis Award winners. And I had my speech all set, and then one of the people were not here that was supposed to be here, and he just walked in from stage right, so this is going to work out pretty well. Without my glasses, we have the oldest member here tonight. He's pretty old too. From 1988, the Hallis Award winner, Bill Gomber. Could somebody help him stand up? Thank you. And Bill, please stay standing. Thank you. And thank God he just walked in, John Carmen from 1992. In 1997, it was Warren Johnson. Another guy who snuck in, I didn't know was going to be here, from 2000 is Skip Alford. Our 2010 winner, Laurie Pennington. And last but not least, the best looking person of the group, Paula Pierce. Thank you very much. Now I'll put my cheaters on. John, you can sit down or lay down or whatever you're doing. No, he doesn't have a chair. That's what I meant. I didn't mean, get me. No, I didn't mean that. Next year will be my 40th year as a member of the Windsor Chamber of Commerce. Christ, it seems so long ago. I think Teddy Roosevelt was president of the United States. In those 40-odd years, I have been given the distinct honor, and I mean a really distinct honor, to introduce to you many Hallis Award winners. Tonight, however, is really special. The gentleman I'm about to introduce to you is quite unique. As a matter of fact, if you look up the word humble in the Webster Dictionary, you'll see a picture of him next to it. Let me give you an example of what I mean. I quote from an email, which he's going to be really ticked off about, I received from him after I notified him of his selection. And if you don't mind, I'll read it verbatim. Good morning, Mike. Quote, to say the least, I'm once again embarrassed and humbled by this presentation. I look at the people before me, and I'm really not in the same league as them. With some reservation, I do accept this great honor and ask you to please focus more on Kanika Minolta as a recipient of this award for me. Without the support of Kanika Minolta, and particularly Marshall Fox, I would never be in this position. End of quote. This is me. In all due respect to Kanika Minolta and Marshall Fox, who I just met, this award is for him, not for you. I'm sure he has touched everyone in this room in one way or the other. His bio is in your program, and I will not bore you by reading it. However, as usual, I have a few things to tell you about him that nobody else knows about. You ready? As you know, he's born in Michigan, which I was surprised about, and graduated from a place in Florida, Boca Raton, which is a really hot place to go. I don't know what you're doing there, but. And he ended up showing up in Windsor, Connecticut for some odd reason in 1974. And his career began with Royal Business Machines, which I remember as I think I was 2 years old. It was based in Hartford, and I remember used to go by it when I went to work. After numerous job promotions, and he had many job promotions, he became, as everyone knows him by, the manager of community relations and in-plant print and provider for BizHub Image Center. He loves hockey. He plays guitar. He had a 5 handicap. He had a 5 handicap. His claim to fame was playing hockey with Gordie Howe, who I've heard of before, Brad Park, who I have no clue who that is, and Marcel was Frenchman. He must be playing hockey. Marcel Dion, is I pronounce that right? In a celebrity charity game in Enfield. I didn't know they had celebrity hockey games, but they do. It was in July. I don't know how they had any ice, but that's besides the point. Last year he was a recipient, and nobody knows about this probably, except the people who are there, of the Ray of Hope Award from Mary's Place, which is the most prestigious award you can win. But you know what's funny? He's a great guy. I talked to him numerous times. He's more proud of his family than anything else. He has a son, Chad, who I met tonight, who's soon to become an RN. Congratulations. And his son, Andrew, an Army vet who is just promoted to Sergeant E5, which is exactly what I was when I got out. And he spent a year in the Middle East. But he tells me that he loves his daughter-in-laws, who I did meet tonight, and I understand why, like they were his own. And his pride and joy is his grandson, right? Dawson. Before I introduce you to him, I have one last tidbit of information for you, which I had no clue, and I think I know the guy pretty good. He met his wife, Cal, and I'm sure you all know Cal, and proposed to her 5 days later. She accepted his proposal. However, what many of you don't know is she had a bout of temporary blindness when she met him and didn't recover her eyesight until the day after she agreed to marry him. Some people never seem to catch the breaks. God bless you, Cal. That was 39 years ago, and she's still hanging in there. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct honor and pleasure to present to you tonight Ray Embry.
About all of his accolades, or he's tired of hearing me. So Ray asked me to just cut this short. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to honor his wishes and just say, on behalf of the town of Windsor, as a Hallis Award recipient, our congratulations go out to you, sir. So thank you for everything you do for the town of Windsor. And as is previously, we do have a citation from the Connecticut General Assembly attesting to and agreeing with us all about the work you do for the town.
Well, everybody's taken my speech away tonight. They've talked about, Michael's talked about Cal, how I met her, but having my family here tonight with me has made a special evening even better. I'd like to say congratulations to all the recipients of all the awards tonight. You're also well-deserving. And two in particular that I do have to mention are Frank Carmen, who I've had the pleasure of serving on the board of directors with the past 4 years. I think Frank is truly a professional and a great asset to the chamber. And Mrs. Anita Mipps is the definition of Citizen of the Year. An individual who's supportive of everything that happens in Windsor and does it with a smile and grace that no one else has. It's my pleasure to be mentioned in the same breath as those individuals who I hold in the utmost respect. I'm a very lucky guy to be standing here. I think most of you in this room tonight know that I work for Konica Minolta, which is right up the road. We are a leader in advanced document technologies, IT solutions and applications from desktop to the print shop. Our history dates back to 1873 in Tokyo, where reportedly Bill Gombert was a leading member of the Sorry. By 1900, the first camera was developed, and our first plain paper copier was introduced in the U.S. market in 1971. The merger of Konica and Minolta took place in 2003, and most of you in this room still refer to us as Konica, and really that's okay, because as long as you know we're here, that's all that matters. Konica Minolta is committed to making this world a better place to live in, work in, and play in. Our socially responsible programs incorporate education, disaster recovery, and personal wellness. Our Colorful Tomorrow Foundation is a charitable nonprofit organization which is the nucleus of our social responsibility efforts in those communities in which we do business. We try to maximize the effectiveness of every dollar contributed to approved charities while providing for those in need. I'm proud to say we have been involved locally within the greater Connecticut River Valley with a collection of books for local school children, providing backpacks for schools, donating food items, and providing the expenses for newspapers to be used in the classrooms. Our employees have made me very proud over the past few years with their enthusiastic response during the holidays when food was needed at the local food banks. Last year, we filled 2 trucks and donated over 150 turkeys during the Thanksgiving holiday. We adopted several local families, and individual departments within the companies brought in gifts for family members. There was something for all under the Christmas tree. Their giving was overwhelming. We've made a couple of local nonprofits our favorites, and as mentioned earlier, Mary's Place is one of ours. And who could turn down any request from Lisa Peluso and her wonderful work she and her staff of volunteers do at Mary's Place? I'm gonna steal some water. This will only take about another 25 minutes. So. Connecticut Minolta is one of the founding members of the Windsor Education Foundation, and we continue to do whatever it takes to assist with the efforts of the dedicated people at WEF. Remember, I'm a lucky guy. There's no rocket science involved here. I consider it the best part of my job. I make a lot of friends giving away printing and money. I think that goes away without being said. But if it were not for 3 people in my life, which 2 of them are in the room tonight, I would most likely be standing here before you. The first person is Mitzi Sansevero, who is attending her nephew's high school graduation in New Hampshire tonight. Mitzi's my right hand. She's your contact when something has to be done at the BizHub Image Center. She's been the one I hold responsible for the Image Center and what it is today, a competitive but giving print provider to local businesses and charitable organizations. Willard Bill Gombert was the driving force behind getting Conica back in 1983 when we moved here from Hartford, involved in the local community. His service to the Windsor Chamber of Commerce, he is in fact a past Hallis Award recipient that's been mentioned, and the funds he has raised over the 39 years through the Windsor Chamber of Commerce auction are immeasurable. So I'm a lucky guy, and a lot of credit goes to Bill Gombert. Thank you, Bill. I'm humbled by this award and very grateful to the individuals who put my name in nomination. I'm sure there are others who are much more deserving of this honor, but to be honest, this award, as mentioned, is not about me. It's about the great company I work for, and it's also about an individual in my life who I know as my boss, but also one of my best friends. Some of you may imagine that's a tough line to follow, but when you get to know this person, and you soon will, you'll get to know that it's been an easy undertaking for me due to his always positive attitude, his never-ending smile, his encouragement and guidance, and most of all, his true friendship. I've been blessed for the better part of my career at Connecticut Minolta, and it's due to this one person. He is the one who's never said no to any of my requests for donations, printed materials, or sponsorships. So this honor tonight is not just about me, it's about our great company and the individual who I share this honor with tonight, who makes my job so easy. You've already met him once, but please, once again, Mr. Marshall Fox. My family has been, and I'm sure it's been the same for you, a huge part of my joy and happiness in my life. With me here tonight are my 2 sons and their wives, and they've already been introduced once, but I'm going to go down the list again. My youngest son, Chad, is a graduate of Central Connecticut State University and is now on a way to a nursing career at Hartford Hospital. Mom and I are very proud of your accomplishments, Chaddy. The beautiful brunette sitting next to him is my loving daughter-in-law, Morgan. They just celebrated their 1-month anniversary last month. 1 year. Seems like a month. Yeah, time flies. My oldest son, Andrew, is a U.S. Army National Guard veteran attached to the 1st Battalion, 169th Aviation Regiment, who is now in his 12th year of service to our country, including 1 year of service in the Middle East. Thank you for your service, Sergeant Andrew. Mom and I are also very proud of your success, and his beautiful wife, Kimberly, and I'm sure Andrew was somewhat involved in this, gave Cal and I one of the best gifts a parent can receive, and that's our baby grandson, Dawson, who is just 18 months old. But in that short period of time has captured all of the Embry family's love, hearts. He's the one who can bring a smile to our faces and the love in our hearts. As mentioned, Cal and I only knew each other for a brief time before I proposed. I was in love immediately, and I think she would probably be the first to tell you that she had some reservations, but soon became intrigued with my handsome appearance, charm, wisdom, and apparent bullshit that she agreed to marry me. That was 39 years ago, and I love you more today than yesterday. As residents of this great town of Windsor, you have so many assets to be thankful for. Mayor Don Trinks and your staff, including Town Manager Peter Souza. Along with your management staff, you have some of the best government officials that local towns would die for. Others you can always bank on in the community are the Carmens. How they've touched many of you in this room with their compassion, sympathy, and services that are extraordinary when needed. The Rabbit family, led by their matriarch, Michael, have supported each and every call that is made to them. Matriarch, Michael. Supported each and every call to them that has been for either expertise in insurance matters or just plain cash. I truly believe if it were not for Mike Rabbit's involvement, Summerwind would not be in Windsor this year. When you mention Windsor, Connecticut, who cannot also think of the Seelig family, who have risen to the needs of others whenever asked? To my fellow board members, led by our president, Kristen Barbarotta, and our very financially responsible Mary Lynn Kinney as our treasurer, for their dedication and perseverance for what they have done, leading the charge by taking Windsor and keeping First Town Downtown a viable and statewide recognized organization. You can reach out and give thanks to Ashley Dufresne for that. And obviously, one cannot mention the town of Windsor and the Windsor Chamber of Commerce without mentioning Jane Garibay and Phyllis Stargater. The time they spend, the effort they put into making this town what it is, and how you are perceived throughout the state of Connecticut is immeasurable. We owe them a tremendous amount of gratitude. So I would say to you, as residents of this great, wonderful town, have appreciation for what you have here on this little jewel north of Hartford on the banks of the Farmington and Connecticut rivers. Being here tonight proves you care about your community. Spread the word about this best-kept secret that you have and how wonderful it is to be a resident of not only the oldest town in Connecticut, but one of the best to reside in. Thank you again for bestowing this honor on me, but remember, I'm only the facilitator, and like I said before, I'm a lucky guy. I'd like you to please accept my most gracious wishes for continued success, health, and happiness. God bless you, God bless your families, God bless Windsor, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
I just wanted to say real quick that several of our board members could not make it tonight. One was Mary Lynn Kinney from Windsor Federal. It is the first annual dinner she's missed since she's been on the board, which was like for 8 years. As you all know, it's a very busy time. I think Ann Walsh has 20 graduations this weekend. And Mary Lynn had a family, and we know in the end, family comes first.
Once again, we just have a few people to thank, and that's our sponsors for tonight's evening. We'll have a debt of gratitude. We're very appreciative. Our reception sponsor tonight was Windsor Federal Savings. We had 2 gold sponsors, Connecticut Minolta Customer Care Center and Johnson, Doe, Brown, and Barbarotta. Our silver sponsor, the Carmen Community Funeral Homes. The following were all of our table sponsors. All Out Coaching, Mr. Jerry Wistrom, Edward Jones, Johnson, Doe, Brown, Barbarotta, Kindred Healthcare and Rehab Center, the Loomis Chafee School, O'Malley, Panine, Leary, Messina, and Oswecki, Rabbit Insurance Agency, and Windsor Federal Savings. Thanks to all of us. And Chris, if you go up and do some closing remarks, this is your captain signing off.
Let's do the important stuff. You all put your tickets in, getting ready for your summer vacation, for this beautiful bag, and $100 in chamber gift certificates. This is precious.
Okay. 660195. That's perfect. Congratulations. I just want to take a minute. We've had another great annual dinner. And like I said when I opened up the evening, it really is an honor for me to stand before all of you. September will be the 10th year the 10th year anniversary of my coming to work in Windsor. And when I first started, I literally knew nobody. I grew up down in Trumbull. And one of my partners said to me, this is Ben Doe, he said, you know what, you really need to get out in the community and meet people, and he introduced me to Jane Garibay. And 10 years later, here I am, and it's really given me a fantastic opportunity to get to know the Windsor community, to help grow my business, and to get to know so many of you. So I just want to say congratulations to all of our board members and to all of our award recipients, and thank all of you for your tremendous support of the Chamber in First Town Downtown. Here's to another great year. Thank you all for coming.